A very warm welcome to all of you, my dear students. You're all welcome to your favorite YouTube channel, Let's Learn Together. And this is Shafiq Ahmed over here. As we have started this chapter, and this is the fourth video tutorial for you all. And we have completed the liberal nationalism in our previous class. So I want to start from here once again so that it may be a recap of the previous class. So the term liberalism derives from the Latin word that means liber, which means free. Means liberal nationalism means it's the nationalism which is being asked by the people who want to get free. Freedom of individual, that is the first point that you should mention in this particular topic, that the new middle class liberalism stood for what? Freedom of the individual. Everyone want to become free. And the second point which is there, equality before law, means they want to create, the people who are supporting this liberal nationalism, what they wanted to create law or frame laws which should be equal for everyone. Another thing, the third point, that is was the demand of the liberal nationalism people, liberal nationalist people. They want government which should agree with the people. Government should act according to the, or for the benefit, for the people, benefit of the people. The next point that you can mention over here, that they wanted to end that particular dictatorship type of rule or despotism. They want to put an end, to put a full stop to the dictatorship rule. And they wanted to end the monarchy system. They want the power should be hand in the hand of the citizens only. Next thing was that what they wanted to end clerical privileges, means the privileged life and the luxurious life which was given, which was being enjoyed by the priest, the first state people, as well as the second state people. They also wanted to put an end to these privileges. They wanted to establish a constitution, and they wanted representative government also. Means there should be a representative of the people who should be there in the legislature group to frame rules and regulations for the benefit of the people. They also wanted to write a constitution which should be also followed by everyone. Inviolability of private property, means liberals also straight on the security of what? Private property. If you are having a private property, then no one should be able to take it from you, only the government. And the last one, that their point was that trade barrier. Liberalism is too for the freedom of market also. They don't want any type of restriction in the movement of the goods. They don't want to pay any type of internal custom duties type of taxes, which is seen as a barrier in the business, in the trade affairs. So that is all about the liberal nationalism. Our next topic is what you can see over here. Our next topic is about the problems. Our next topic is about the problems of the middle class. And we have seen what was the demand of the liberal nationalist people, nationalism. So we are here to see the problems of the middle class of people also. What were their problems? What were the problems they were facing? Number one, that is right to vote. The right to vote and get elected was only granted to the people who were having property. Property owing men was allowed to give the vote, and they can only participate in the affairs of the government. Men without property and all women, they were all excluded from the political rights. Means they were not having the right to vote, means they cannot participate in the government affairs, they cannot become MLA, MP like this, they cannot hold political offices, they cannot start political parties also, as they are not having right to vote. So men who was having only property, they were allowed to vote and they can participate. So this was one of the problem, that everyone was not having the right to vote. The second problem was that state to state trade restriction. There was a trade barrier. Suppose that if you are purchasing few some goods from one particular state, and you want to sell it to other state, then on the bit in the on the way you will have to, if you will move your goods from one state to another state, then you might be have to pay a lot of taxes while crossing the border of one state to other state. And there was one more problem, that there were different number of currencies. Means if you have bought a particular goods from one state with different currency, and if you want to sell it to the other state, then they are also following different type of currencies. So because of the difference in the number of currencies, the value also changes, and they might incur loss also. The traders, even there were different units of measurement also during that time, so that was also taken as a trade barrier. Different units of measurement. Suppose we are all following nowadays that 1 kilogram it means that 1000 gram equal to 1 kilogram. But suppose if 980 gram equal to 1 kilogram is somewhere, and somewhere it is 970 gram equal to 100 1000 1 kilogram, then there will be a lot of chaos and issues if there will be different system of measurement. So that was also one of the problem, because there were many currencies and there were different system of measurement also, and there was not any freedom of markets also, because if you will move it, move your goods from one state to another state, you will have to pay taxes. So that will increase the cost of the good, and then you will be forced to sell it at a higher price, and which cannot be sold out. Now another number of problem was that were number of currencies. That is also one of the problem. In Napoleon administrative measures, there was an association of 39 states. Means there were total 39 states at that time in France. So that was also one of the problem, that every state was having their own currency. Suppose in India, if all the states will have different type of currencies, with different, then there will be a very great problem to handle because of different number of currencies. So likewise, it was also a problem because 39 states were having 39 type of currencies. So traders really, they don't want to trade and sell their goods or purchase goods from other states. They were just confined to their own state, to their own state area only, and that was really a great problem in the. You can see it is a great barrier for the growth of the country also. Different units of weight and measurement, that is also you can define that there were different system of weight as well as measurement in those 39 states. So that was also one of the problems. So these were the problems for the middle class people who were struggling. Here are a few questions, my students, that you can write in your notebook and prepare your notes also. So you should take the screenshot of these questions, and you will find the answers in the slides or in the previous tutorials. So let us move ahead. There is a clarification of the problem in state to state trade. What was the problem while trading from one state to another state? Let us take an example. The example is of German speaking region in the first half of the 19th century. We are taking the example of a German speaking region, an area where people are using German. A merchant traveling in 1833, the year is 1833, from Hamburg to Nuremberg. See, a merchant is traveling from one state to another, Hamburg to Nuremberg, because he want to sell his goods. But what will happen? He would have to pass through 11 custom barriers and pay a custom duty of about 5% at each one of them. See, if he will cross from one state to another state, and if you want to reach to Nuremberg, then he will have to cross 11 different custom barriers. And means custom barrier means those places where they used to charge taxes for moving the good from one state to another state. So he will have to pay taxes 11 times, and everywhere he will have to pay 5% taxes. So suppose if he bought a good for 100 rupees and he's paying 11 time taxes of 5%, means 5 rupees each at particular places, at particular custom barrier, then he will have to pay 5%. That is means 5% means 5 rupees each at 11 time means 55 rupees he will have to pay tax. So the cost of the good will be, for him, will be 155 rupees. So he will have to sell it at 160, 170 or 200 to earn profit. So that was the problem. Duties were often levied according to the weight or measurement of the goods. And you can see that percentage was not always fixed. They used to charge duties, that is taxes, according to the weight or the measurement of the goods. As each region has its own system of weight and measures, so it involved time consuming calculation. And they used to, because someone is passing from one state to another state, and the other state is having different weight of system of weight and measurement, so they are just calculating and wasting a lot of time to charge the tax. The measure of cloth, for example, was the L, which in each region stood for a different length. So here we in India or throughout the world, we used to measure cloth with the help of meter, centimeter, like this. But at that time, the measurement unit was L, and that one L stands for different length in different places. Let us see. An L of textile, you can see over here, an L of textile would in Frankfurt would get you 54.7 centimeter of cloth. Means the length of one L in Frankfurt is 54.7 centimeter. While in Mainz, another state, it will change from 54.7 centimeter, it will change to 55.1 centimeter. Now you can see, my dear students. And in Nuremberg, it will again change to 65.6 centimeter. You can see over here. And in Freiburg, it will change to 53.5 centimeter. So you can see here the changes are there in the length of the centimeter. So the value of L would be very hard to calculate because it is having different weights, system of weight and measurement. That was one of the problem, and that is the clarification that how was the problem they were people were facing. So let us see whether they have found out the solution or not. That is removal of state to state trade restriction. Now they have removed. Now what was the solution? Let us see. Trade barrier at that time was viewed as a blockage, because these are the barrier, these are the ये सब रुकावट है trade करने के लिए. So these are the trade barriers which have been viewed as a blockage by the economic exchange, and that as well as growth by the new commercial classes. The new commercial classes who were coming in front to for trading purpose, but when they see all these type of disturbances and hindrances on the area, on the trade time, so they were just moving back. They wanted to create a unified economic region. What they wanted to create unified economic region so that they can trade freely, so that they can move their goods freely from one place to another place. That was also one of the thinking and the demand of the middle class people. They want that the movement of good people and capital should be moved without any restriction. There should not be any restriction like that. So they have found a solution. Let us see what was the solution. In 1834, this is very important, my students. A lot of questions used to become from this particular area, from this topic. In 1834, a custom union that is known as Zollverein, remember the name. A custom union named Zollverein was formed by Prussia, and that particular union means a group of countries was formed by the Prussia, and that group of countries was joined by most of the German states later on. So what was the work of the Zollverein? That is the question they used to ask in board exam. What was the work of Zollverein? So work number one, what was the first function? The union, this custom union Zollverein, it abolished tariff barriers, that custom duties. Now you can move the goods freely without paying any taxes in any of the state, in any of the state. Means you can move your goods from one state to another state without paying any internal custom duties. Means that was being paid 11 times, that you know that we have discussed 55 rupees at each particular custom union points. So now that has been removed. So now the traders are free. They can move their goods from one state to another state without paying any custom duties. So the cost will remain same. That 100 rupees cost will remain same. It will not increase. Now the union also reduced the number of currencies. And as there were 39 currencies, now they reduce it to 2 only. Now there are only 2 different type of currencies throughout. Again, you can see, my students, you can see, yes. The union has removed custom duties. The union reduced the number of currencies also to 2 only, and the union also created a network of railways also, so that movement of goods from one place to another could also be encouraged. Now there should not be any hindrances, any disturbances for moving the goods from one place to another. So the Union Jolverin created a network of railways also, so that the movement of goods can be flourished and there should not be any stoppage.